Damn, I really should have checked the battery on this mic. Because last week it died. I had to re record some stuff. Anyways, good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Brave Traveler. I'm your host, IR. How's everybody? How was your week? Mine was interesting. I have two people living in my house now. They have been for the past week. My parents. To save money, they chose to live with me. That's it's fine, actually. I mean, it's it's a weird dynamic. I've been living in this other country by myself for a year now, just to be closer to my daughter. and living on my own has been pretty nice. I mean, it's quiet, which I like. I know where everything is. um, I can't really say that I miss living with my parents, but it's not terrible either. I think that I'm just constantly disappointed in my parents. Um, and when they're not around, well, it's easy to not think about that. Now that they're around every day, except for on weekends. Actually, they leave on weekends to visit some of their family. So I'm glad it's not every day that I I have to have this interaction. My father is a typical old man. Um, he believes he knows everything and he can teach you about everything through his experiences. So he is long-winded, likes to talk, he will ramble, he will go in circles and miss the point entirely, but that's it. Once you kind of realize that, oh, okay, that's what you do. He's harmless. He's fine. He loves to watch television and that's it. He's a simple guy. Uh his wife, on the other hand, I refuse to call her mother because she never mommed me. I mean, the old man didn't father me either, but he had a more legitimate reason. He was working. So, yeah. Anyways, the old lady um, forgets that she didn't give you information. She didn't give you the what's up. The she just goes ahead and does whatever she thinks is proper to do. So if I buy some really great tomatoes on the vine for me, she'll just take them and make some fucking sauce or whatever the fuck, some mix on the blender that I don't personally enjoy or want, but she just feels that she's done good. They both do that, actually. They go out of their way to do things that no one wants done, that is actually bothersome, and then they expect a pat on the back or a thank you, a congratulations. This is wonderful that you did this. But it's always, stuff that they want. It's never stuff that others would want. So they never do anything for others. They do things for themselves, disguised as though it was for everyone else except for themselves, and expecting gratitude. So they're silly and they're infuriating and they're old people, so you can't really have a logical conversation with them. It really feels like you're dealing with children that know they're not children and therefore will not listen to you. They will not, they don't give a shit what you have to say. Um, I honestly think that I probably would get through to them better if I just hired an actor to pretend that they know what the fuck they're talking about, to tell them that, well, actually, you should do this way. And then they would probably be like, oh, okay. Because if it's coming from me, they don't listen. And I think that's kind of a common reaction that people have when it comes to knowing someone for too long, and then you forget that people grow, people change, people do develop. So then if you've known somebody for too long, you kind of have this image of them sort of engraved into your fucking brain, and you refuse to believe that they're ever a different person. That happened to me. I've experienced it, I've done it, I've seen it. It's common. And it's just stupid and silly that people are more inclined to project just the best qualities onto a perfect stranger. Like, you just met this person and you think you might like them, and whatever they say just seems more valid than the person you've known for years and years. That's fucking stupid. But that's the way it is. Like, even in the pickup community with sarging girls and shit, one night stands, they're like easier to get a person into bed when you just met them than if you waited, I don't know, a couple days, a couple weeks, whatever. And I think that's because of the same reasons, where the new person is a mystery. And so it's exciting because you don't really have a solid image of who you think they are, not who they really are. And so people are more willing to, like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do this, than if a longer period of time were to pass and people would have a more solid image of who they believe the other person is. If I'm explaining that correctly. Okay, what else? I saw the movie Psycho, the first one and the second one. First one is the black and white Alfred Hitchcock movie, and the second one is not. But I feel that, as great as I think the first one was, and it was great, it was groundbreaking. I mean, I don't think there's that many other movies where the main character dies halfway through the movie, and then you realize that the actual main character is the killer. So that's pretty interesting right there. I saw something in that movie that I hadn't realized before because I've seen that movie before when I was younger, and I realized that Norman Bates had parasites. Absolutely, without a doubt. That's what was making him insane. Because he wasn't crazy as a child. He was brought up in a fucked up manner where his mother, who in the second one is revealed to actually be his aunt, um, dressed him up as a girl, punished him by sticking him in a closet, uh, just a whole bunch of shit. But anyways, so I realized that he had parasites because he's acting like it, but that's obviously not enough. He had a very interesting hobby of finding dead animals and bringing them to his home to, you know, dry them out, position them, and then, decorate them around the hotel and house. Absolutely, he had fucking parasites. You can't do that shit and not have parasites. Not only that, but after he killed his stepmother, he went and dug up the body and put her back in the house. 100% the motherfucker had parasites. That's what was getting him to act so irrational, to fucking see his own and hear his own quote unquote mother speaking to him. I love the second one. The second one is my favorite. Third one, not so much. Fourth one, I really enjoyed, but the second one was just like, damn, that was a fucking work of art. Now, I kind of think that since Psycho by Hitchcock is considered such an amazing movie that you're even obligated to study it in film school, I'm pretty sure that the team that worked on the sequel must have felt the weight of that responsibility to not fuck it up, especially since they were, um, not only is it because of Hitchcock, but also they were working with the original guy. I think his name was Anthony Perkins. Can't remember, but he did an amazing job in the sequel. And the first one, yeah, sure, he did a really good job too. I still remember that fucking hideous face he makes when the boyfriend saves the sister in the first movie and sort of like grabs him and grabs the knife, and the wig falls off and he's just like making that weird face like he's twisting his cheeks all over the place, and it's like, what the fuck. I wonder if that was his a personal decision or if Hitchcock said to him like, now when people that are insane I have no idea. But it was funny and also disturbing, so I think it was perfect. The second one, there was something about that relationship between Norman Bates and I can't remember her name, but she's supposed to be the daughter of the sister of the chick that got killed in the first movie. And in real life, that's Jennifer Tilly's older sister. Man, she was gorgeous. I I don't know why I didn't get to see her in more movies. I mean, what the fuck happened? Jennifer Tilly's older sister, something's Tilly, uh, she was in two of my favorite movies. She was in Psycho 2 and in Body Snatchers. She played the mom in Body Snatchers, so obviously that one was later on. And then I never fucking saw her again. I would have loved to have seen her in more things because she was batting 100. You know, she every fucking movie she was taking was something special, and then nothing, and then Jennifer Tilly just starts doing a bunch of other random movies. Right? Her younger sister was Chucky's Bride. What else did she do? She was the lesbian in Bound, which was a Wachowski brothers at the time brothers movie, and that one was all right. It was interesting. Get to see some boobs. um, yeah, I'm sure she's been Jennifer Tilly's been, you know, why am I even talking about this? I uh I like Jennifer Tilly. She's a very attractive lady, but I preferred her sister 100 times more. Oh, she was also in Liar Liar. Jennifer Tilly. I wonder whatever happened to her. I might look her up. I'm sure she's been in other things, but they just never came across what I saw, and I used to watch a ton of movies. I'm so glad I'm done with that obsession. Now that movies are, you know, filled with wokeism, they're just not good. There's something so robotic. Maybe AI is writing all of them. Fucking idiots are just like, write me a story that's funny and has action, but also make sure that this and this and this. I don't know. It's possible. Maybe that's why they're fucking soulless. I'll give you an example. So I saw the commercial for Marvel's new movie. And I'm not talking about Captain America 4, the movie no one wants to will ever watch. No one will watch that movie. I mean, not nearly enough of the amount of people that would have to watch it to even get the money back. I have no interest in it whatsoever. I don't care if Wolverine in the credits comes out. Yeah, no, that means nothing to me. I think Marvel died for me back in 2018, November. Oh, is it November 8th? November 9, something like that, when Stan Lee passed. Yeah, I mean, it's just soulless now. You can tell that it's not a passion project, that the people working on it aren't actually in it because they love the source material. It's it's just a paycheck, and that's not the way you do that. Honestly, that's the way you film porn. Like, who gives a shit? Just get it done. We're going to sell it. Yeah, whatever. On to the next one. But this isn't that. So it shouldn't be treated the same. But that's what they're doing. The movie I was talking about is Thunderbolts. Uh, Thunderbolts is not that different from the Suicide Squad. I never read Suicide Squad, but I was familiar with all the characters. Thunderbolts, I actually read. I read the series by Warren Ellis, and I thought it was just fucking amazing. I loved it. I read Thunderbolts almost right after reading Civil War, which was 100 times better. And I'm just saying 100 a lot, so let me change it to 1,000, which means 10 times better than the fucking movie. Captain America Civil War was awesome. Nothing compared to the comic book story. So the Thunderbolts comic book was very interesting to see a group of bad guys that were now legitimized by the government. The government was against Captain America's team in Civil War. And so that's what made this really interesting. Because these supposed reformed ex villains were working for the government, they had permission to hunt down any superheroes that weren't registering their information. So I absolutely loved it. It was like, what the fuck? This is perfect. This is a story I'm interested in. I want to see what happens. These actual bad guys are given permission by the government to fuck up the good guys because the good guys refuse to become the government's slaves. Fuck yeah, sign me up. I want to read everything. Now, bullshit NASA puppet Disney. Because, yeah, all the money we pay in taxes to NASA, it's not an option. You're obligated to do so. And fuck you, we're not even going to tell you about it. But if you dig deeper, you're going to find out that, oh, yeah, we are. That's where the fuck they get their money. That's why it doesn't matter how many motherfucking $100 million movies tank. Doesn't matter. Because they know that sooner or later, and by sooner or later, I mean like in 20 years, all the fucking kids that grew up watching that shit because of stupid parents that never got informed or well informed, didn't dig a little deeper and just sort of accepted everything at surface value. It's Disney. I grew up on that. It's not the same. It's not the same. They may have always been the same bad guys coming and headed in this direction that we're at now, but they were doing it more gently. So it really wasn't as dangerous as what it is now. 20 years when we're all, I don't know, 20 years older, um, you're going to see these new 20-year-olds that are just clueless, brain dead, think that up is down and everything that was good is now evil and vice versa. And it's going to be some fucked up shit. I think it'll be very different from where we're at right now. Fuck, I don't look forward to that. Got to make preparations. Got to move outside of the city, go into rural areas, and just learn to live off the land, grow your own food, all that stuff. Yeah. Thunderbolts, the movie, looks like shit. And that great story I just said about what the comic book was, that fucking thing doesn't look like it has anything to do with that. There's some criminals, and there's the Winter Soldier in it. It looked like shit. It looked like fucking garbage. And from everything they've been doing for the last, what, 5 years, something like that, 5, 4 or 5 years. I don't know. It's been shit. It's been garbage. I mean, some stuff has seemed like, hey, this is interesting. Ooh, we're going to go in this direction. Okay. And then it's garbage. I think the last great thing I saw from Marvel was all three Spider-Men. Spider-Man's in the same movie. That was cool because I'd never seen that before. And I thought, like, it was also unexpected because they fuck with you with the commercials. You know, you didn't see all of them together, even if they were in the same scene. So that was fun. That was interesting. And everything else has been fucking, it took a nosedive hard. But yeah, I think that was the last good Marvel movie. And obviously, before that was the last Avengers movie. That was it. And that was such a shitty ending in that movie. I mean, I understand that Chris Evans' contract must have been up, didn't want to renew it, whatever. Um, Tony Stark dying? Fuck you. So the only reasons to do that is it's over. This is the end. And you know what? That's that's fine. I did read the end of Marble. It was a story called Earth X. It was a 3 volume story. The first one was called Earth X, then Universe X, then Paradise X, and it was amazing. And yes, you do have a lot of the main characters dying in epic fucking ways. So I think I think Marvel wrote that because obviously this fucking beast of is never going to die. It's business. I'm going to keep it writing it until the characters resemble nothing of what they originally were meant to. I think it should end, but it's money, it's business. As long as somebody's buying it, it won't end. And as Disney has proven, even if no one's fucking buying it, they will keep it going and going and going. Since Disney NASA owns Marvel, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, what the fuck else? Simpsons. God. They're going to keep those things going forever. And obviously, since it's all about money, they're going to be pandering to whatever stupid agenda the cabal is pushing at the moment. And at the moment, it's what the fuck is it? Kamala Harris is black. No, she's not. She's brown. What else? Trump is evil. I don't know. I just think it's weird that he gets so much hate. What else? Satanism is a good thing. Christianity is actually bad. Um, I believe in Jesus. I believe that the religion was hijacked. I think there was an original Christianity. Then the actual first pope, Constantine, Emperor Constantine, changed it. And ever since then, we've been under a blanket religion. There's a lot of interesting stuff that Jesus said that's actually not in the Bible. It's in the Nag Hammadi, or the Gnostic Christian Bible. I highly recommend it to everyone. It might make a lot of sense. Because there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that didn't make sense to me when I first read it. And I read it cover to cover, like a fiend. I was addicted. I didn't do anything else but read the Bible because I wanted to read the Bible, and I've read the Bible now twice. I read Genesis 3 times, and and I still feel like I need to read it again because now I know more information that I didn't know before. But there's some stuff that just cannot make sense because it's like that David Lynch movie Mulholland Drive, where it's missing the part that makes it all make sense, that makes it all come together. And until you have that cornerstone, if you will, you'll just be going in circles. Where to actually make sense of this information that it is missing more information in order to make it make sense, you have to find out about everything in the world, and then you can look at it like, oh, I know what they're talking about here. So that's really hard. uh, but there's a cheat. There's the perfect cheat. It's the answers. The answers are in the Nag Hammadi. It's the stuff that they took out, the stuff that those people said, this is it's not relevant. You don't need to you don't need to see this. All that shit they took out. So they're the bad guys. They're the ones controlling it. Um, but you have free will, so you can always choose to read the missing stuff. The Book of Enoch, the Book of Thomas. I mean, the Essene Gospel. There's just so much great stuff in there. The Sophia of Jesus. I think there's one by Magdalene. There's one by Judas, actually. So a lot of good stuff in there that could only benefit you. I'm not gonna watch that movie Thunderbolts. I think that they very noticeably, very obviously have betrayed the fans. Why would you ever go back to somebody that's done that? I know that they like to make up excuses and say, well, that was those guys, but this new group, fuck you. They're all under the same leadership. So I don't care that it's a completely different group. It's still, they're still following the same bullshit where we hate white people. Men are disposable. Um, Women are better. Uh, just a bunch of stupid shit. By the way, is it okay to not be gay? I mean, sure, but you know, don't be proud about it, right? I remember years ago when I saw on Disney Plus a documentary on Beyonce, and it was called Black is King. Obviously, the title suggests that they are very proud of being black, which is fine. But could a white person be proud to be white? Could any of the white singers put out a documentary about themselves title it White is King. Would that be okay? No, right? That's a double standard. That's fucked up. It needs to be pointed out. I think that people are so fucking programmed that they can't even see the obvious anymore until it just gets right in their fucking faces and they experience it firsthand. But there's so many programming, so much programming that has been done to us as a society to the point where it's now part of the way you think that you can't see the truth anymore because you'll go, well, I mean, it's not okay because of these stupid reasons that were programmed into us. I mean, will it ever be okay? What has to happen in your programmed mind for it to be okay to be white and straight? If you can't find an answer past the programming, then there you go. You're an NPC. That's horrible. I hope you don't stay one. That's for sure. I think that frequencies, higher frequencies, lower frequencies, can change. So you might have been born a low frequency or a high frequency, and depending how your life went and the things you think are true, you can raise it or you can lower it. Take that however you wish. Oh, yeah. I heard that Kevin Smith is making a new movie called 430 and a possible Clerks 4, which is awesome. Except I saw Clerks 3. How the fuck is he going to do the fourth one with a dead character? Clerks 3 felt like a the ending, at least like the that fucking ending was so like, what the fuck are you doing? I get it, Kevin, you had a near death experience, I get it, but why are you killing your fucking character? You didn't die. Why are you fucking doing this? Oh, you have to watch the Clerks movies to get this. Clerks 1 is so fucking stupid and you can't help but love it. The dialogue is just unheard of. You've never seen anything like this at that time. I think you could only compare it to Quentin Tarantino's work where they were talkies. Lots of talking in those fucking movies, except when they weren't talking in Quentin Tarantino's movies, they were doing cool shit. And in Kevin Smith's movies, when they weren't talking, they were doing stupid shit. And it was very entertaining and funny to watch. The sequel to Clerks has one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen, which is an argument between a Star Wars fan and a Lord of the Rings fan. Oh man. It's one of them becomes upset and, and it gets so upset that it makes him want to vomit. And I love, if you watch that scene, it's so fucking hilarious. It's like so absurd and it's like you wouldn't expect that to happen, but apparently it can happen. It's I loved it. And then there was Clerks 3, What the fuck? So, um, Clerks 2, the main character gets married, I guess, to Rosario Dawson, who, as you might already know, is a super hot, tall chick. I've seen her once at a comic book convention, and yeah, she is. Kevin Smith suffered a heart attack, but he didn't really know it. So that's I, I don't know. How do you know you had a fucking heart attack if it didn't feel like a heart attack? So the doctor has to tell him, "You just had one of the worst heart attacks ever. We call it a widowmaker." Basically letting him know that, wow, you almost died. I wonder if they're trolling him. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust the hospital. I think they're all working for the bad motherfuckers that don't teach them right. Yeah, I know that's not a standard idea, right? It's not the status quo to believe that these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Of course not. That is what I believe. I believe that we all go to school to get dumb. We all go to school to become blind. And I've met doctors, related to doctors. All it really does is make them real sure of themselves that they're not making any mistakes. So that when mistakes happen, and they do a lot, often, it's clearly not their fault because they were doing exactly what they were taught in their expensive schools. Just reminds me of that Hitler quote that I memorized from Alan Moore's um, graphic novel Watchmen, that people swallow lies easily as long as they're big enough. And how do you ever uncover the truth when ego gets in the way? Nobody wants to be told, actually, you're wrong. Nobody wants to be told that. Nobody wants to hear that. So when someone is right and someone doesn't know they're right, are they willing to listen? Most people are not. I don't blame them. I think everyone just really has to find out on their own, you know, which is why I feel like I don't feel inclined to just lay it out. Just say everything that I've discovered, say how, why I believe this. I mean, people are not really open minded towards what they're not programmed for, right? There's an establishment of information, and sometimes the show is made to seem like this bit of information versus that bit of information, but only, a limited amount of options are presented. And they're not always the truth. In fact, they're usually not at all the truth. They're just popularized truths. Which one do you want? Do you want the left wing or the right wing? Completely ignoring that they're both connected to the same animal. Let me backtrack that a bit. After Kevin Smith has his near death experience that he had to be told after the fact, this obviously worried him a lot. He did, I don't know what the fuck, and lost a ton of weight. Now he's a thin man, or at least he looks like it. And he got to work. He made a Jay and Silent Bob movie reboot, and it was okay. It was entertaining. I liked it. I'd watch another. And he made Clerks 3. So I loved Clerks 2. Of course, I was going to watch Clerks 3, and I did. And was missing some people, but for the most part, it was really great. And I enjoyed it. Actually, the first half. Second half, I'm not sure if it was the second half, but it was definitely the ending. One of the main clerks dies. And if that's not bad enough, it's revealed that, oh, by the way, shit, I shouldn't even say it. People should go watch the fucking movie. Oh, by the way, really horrible things happen to his life, and he just has no reason to live anymore. So I just thought it was the shittiest fucking ending ever. It felt like a troll. Like it was fucking like Kevin was trolling the audience. Yeah, yeah, you like this character? Well, guess what? He's dead. You know how he used to be happy in the second one? Well, guess what? Everyone else is dead in his life. Oh man, I don't know what the fuck he was going through in his head. Kevin must have been emotional because of what he went through. That he just stopped thinking in a movie making fashion. I think if you're gonna kill him, don't kill him like that. By the way, it's a comedy, isn't it? It's straight up turned into a fucking drama without direction. A directionless fucking drama. I think I've seen all his movies. That fucking ruined that movie. Yes, absolutely. I guess it works as a movie. Sure, sure, sure. And I'm sure I can hear what Kevin would say, which is like, "Fuck you! It's my movie. I'll do whatever I want. I'll kill him 10 times in the next one." Yes, it's your movie, but fuck, I watched it. I have an opinion, so fuck you. I'm allowed to have an opinion. The thing I think, the only thing I can think that he would do in this Clerks 4, in this possible Clerks 4 movie, would be bring him fucking back. Duh. Bring him back. Uh, yeah, I mean, Kevin's not that old. He can still make a bunch of more fucking movies. Why would he kill his own fucking franchise? I don't think that one friend is going to hold the entire movie by himself. The remaining clerk, the lone clerk, would not be a great movie. I mean, he could try, sure. He could prove me wrong. I just still think that it would be great if uh, that one clerk didn't die for the following movie. By the way, this is a possible Clerks 4. I think that he should do it, but I have no idea if it's actually going to happen because, like I said, one of the clerks died in the third movie. So, how would a Clerks 4 even work? One clerk? Sure. Why not? It's just going to be a completely different movie. He could make it work. Maybe. I'd still watch it, honestly. I finished playing Space Marine 2 on my PS5 this week, and I streamed all of it on Twitch. And I have to tell you that it's not what I thought it was going to be. So, the game starts off incredibly cool. It's very cinematic. The entire thing just looks amazing. 10 out of 10 with the fucking visuals. Loved it. Once you play it for a few hours, it's it starts becoming monotonous, very repetitive. I mean, it's just a one note song, and it feels like I'm missing out on a ton of information. Like I walked into a movie halfway done, and I'm supposed to know a bunch of stuff that I don't. So I'm not enjoying it. I don't know why the fuck whoever owns the rights to that fucking game, Warhammer Space Marine 2, why they didn't release a remaster of the first game, which I think only came out on Xbox. That would have been really helpful. I would have known who these characters are when a new character pops up and they make it seem like I should already know who this person is, but I don't. So it was very hollow for me, a person who has not played the tabletop board game, role playing game, and I didn't play the first game, the first video game. So I was just lost. For me, all it was is some giant humans in some robot suits, kind of like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, killing a bunch of demon slash dinosaurs in a Gears of War kind of fashion. By the way, I loved Gears of War, and it has a lot to do with the animations when they were fighting. Beautiful, loved it. The running sequences, loved it. The characters, the voice acting, and compare that to Space Marines characters, and they're very two dimensional. They're boring as fuck. They don't fucking matter. I mean, they all could have fucking died and been replaced, and I wouldn't have given a shit because I wasn't invested with any of them. They didn't fucking matter to me. They were just poorly written characters. So flat. So monotone. I mean, maybe it's because I'm not British and the accent wasn't doing it for me. But I don't think that is because I love accents. So, yeah, no. It was boring. The gameplay was repetitive. So once you get through slashing them, shooting them, seeing all the different moves you can do, You realize, oh, it's just these five things, and that's pretty much it. Then at around, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours in, maybe even earlier, I don't know, you get a combination. You get something new. You get jetpacks that let you fly for a few seconds and slam down on the ground, kill the bad guys like that. That was fun. Sometimes you don't have that ability. Then I was so incredibly bored, and some of the boss fights were just shitty, not fun at all. I looked it up. How much game is left? I just want to beat this shit and be done with it because I wasn't enjoying it. In fact, I actually thought, you know what? I don't need to pass this fucking game. I already know I don't like it. It doesn't excite me to play it more. I'm just fucking done. Then I saw online and a walkthrough that said that, oh, I just had, like three more things and that's it and I'll be done. So I thought, okay, fine. I'll play that. And I played yesterday for like 3 fucking hours. And I knew before I even started playing, I said, I bet you this is going to be the best part of this game, the ending. I knew that they would have focused more on wrapping it up right just to get people, kids, obviously, excited for a Space Marine 3. Obviously. So I knew that I would enjoy the ending because that's where these motherfuckers would put their biggest efforts. And yep, I was right. That's why I think I played it for 3 hours because I was actually enjoying the ending. It's not a good game. Um, if you're a kid, you'll love it. If you're into multiplayer stuff online, it's a lot like Destiny. So if you liked Destiny 2, yeah, you'll like it. What else? I think it has a multiplayer on the campaign itself. I'm sure that would be a lot of fun. So I don't want to shit on it too much. I'm just going to say it's not for me. But I think that a lot of people could enjoy it a lot because I don't want to hate it. I know they weren't woke, they were anti woke. I love that. That's why I even fucking played it in the first place. I know that Henry Cavill, is that his name? Is that his fucking name? Superman, or the guy they fired, the guy that played Superman that they fired. Um, but I mean, he's talking about the role playing game, the board game, and I would love to play that game. Although, just like with Dungeons and Dragons, it just feels like there's a lot to fucking read first. So, here's how you become a role playing gamer, tabletop role playing game. You either read a library of books until you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. I haven't done that, but I have the books. So I'm getting there. Or you find people that already know everything about the damn game and you just start playing with them. Now, these people, you can usually find them at comic book stores. Except if you're a jerk, although what is a jerk? I would say I'm kind of a jerk. I'm kind of an asshole because I'm introverted. Yeah, I'm 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 set in my ways. You know, I think what I think, and I'm fine with that. I'm not searching. I'm not curious. I'm not. I'm open minded to a point. I'm not completely lost. I don't. At least I don't feel that way. So when I hear other people's opinions and stuff, I might consider them, maybe, but more than likely I won't. So for me, going to one of those comic book stores, seeing people I completely don't know. I'm a man, by the way. We don't live in a time where um, people are so eager to meet new people unless they fit a certain criteria, right? It's like, oh, she's a woman. Yes, I want to meet her. Oh, he's a man. Oh, why is he coming over here? It's like, hey, I like that game. I don't know how to play it. Can I play with you guys? I can just, and then you read a fucking person's face, right? They look at you like, ugh. So I'm not saying that all men get this kind of treatment, but obviously, if you're not an 18-year-old male, you might get this treatment. Let's say there's an exception if you're, I don't know, there's something about you that says, oh, that guy's special, but it will sort of go up until early 20s. I still think that's part of societal programming that has been set by the bad guys, the government, uh, to get people to sort of disregard anybody that's past a certain age. This is usually exempt for people that have a shitload of money or they're famous or both. But I get it. People do start to decline as they get older. I have some suspicions, though. I don't think that it's normal. I think it's because of what they ate, because of misinformation, or maybe they were lazy and they trusted the system a little too much and they didn't clean their food in the right manners, or they were consuming mostly GMO. So, shit like that. I think that's what does it. Anyways, Space Marines. I saw that IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. I would give it a 5. But that's only because I don't have any friends. If I had people to play the multiplayer with, well, then obviously it goes up to a motherfucking 9. Is it a 9? Well, yeah, an 8 or a 9. I think that's pretty fair. Like, yeah. But by itself, no. It's a fucking 5. Sorry. Those guys really need to have tried a little harder. If Space Marines 3 gets announced next year, I'll be like, all right, I know what game I'm not going to play. Um, I don't know why I've been sitting on Alan Wake 2 and Black Myth Wukong. Two games that I want to fucking play. I think I think it has a lot to do with my discovery of Dark Souls. And I think I'm doing really well with that fucking game actually. So knowing that that game is considered to be like really hard, although I recently just heard that no, actually the hardest is Dark Souls 2. So can't wait to play that one. It was a sale for $20, but I missed it. But I'm glad I did because it actually, the physical copy doesn't even cost that much more. It's like $20 on Amazon. At least that has a fucking resale value. Honestly, if I beat any fucking game, I it's like a movie. I don't want to do it more than once. Very few games get me, to that point where I'm like, this is worth holding on to. Like some of the Mario games, It Takes Two, Rayman Origins. Let me see. Dark Souls, Demon Souls, those are definitely games you want to keep. So I got two more friggin' games. So probably not gonna get to my Black Myth and Alan Wake and who the heck knows when. So I got this new game called Numata, and of course the remake of Silent Hill 2. Can't wait to play them. I'm about to play them right now, except it's getting pretty late. So I think I'm only going to play one of them, and I don't really know which one. Silent Hill 2. I've beaten that game like friggin' over 10 years ago, maybe even like 12 years ago or something. I beat it on the on the PS3 actually. Um and I liked it. I'm sure that the remake's going to be even better if it's anything like the Resident Evil 2 remake. Numata, I don't know dick shit about this game except that one of the main guys that made Silent Hill made this game. So, what does that mean? Is this going to be on par with Silent Hill? I mean, that's what you would expect, right? So, I think I'm going to go with that one. But I am eager to play Silent Hill 2. Yes. Oh, and just briefly, just before I wrap it up, been watching Candace Owens a lot this week. She's awesome, but I can't believe she's so fucking young. Anyways, she did an interview with Kanye West, and I wanted to watch it. I clicked on it today, and I was looking for it, and it wasn't there. I mean, that's not the first time that they've taken down something that she said, which is why I love her. She's so fucking awesome. Brave, smart, knows the truth, the actual fucking truth. And for the most part, she's not afraid to say it. She's unapologetic, ballsy. She's great. I don't want her to be president because I don't think we have presidents anymore. So she might find that out the hard way. So I think she's perfect where she's at. I think she's doing the best she can with the platforms that she has. So I've seen clips of the Kanye West interview, and of course he started saying a lot of things about my Jewish doctor, my Jewish this and Jewish that. And you can't say that. You can't even have a conversation about anything that might even shed a negative light in the Jewish direction. So I can't find that video anymore on YouTube, at least not on Candace's channel. So I looked for it online, and I've been watching it. I'm actually not done watching it. I might just watch a little bit more. It's interesting. Uh, yes, Kanye West comes off as being a little nutty, but the guy also has a ton of information. So I'm looking forward to it. We might actually agree on a lot of things, which is interesting. Okay. Well, talk to all you guys, all you thousands and millions of people, a little later. Maybe I'll do another podcast in the middle of the week or so. All right. Remember to think happy thoughts, positive thoughts, and feel that they're true. And they'll come, and they will happen. And they'll come true, and they will happen. All right. See you next time.